everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
Oh, we watched a movie.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We watched Black Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
There's a brand new Black Beauty on Disney Plus. So we're actually at the end of November 2020 by now. Gosh, that went quick. Where has the year gone? Oh, excuse me.
Well, it's been a very weird year.
It's been a weird year.
Sometimes it's gone super fast. Sometimes it feels like it could be going on forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yet it is ending next month, so brace yourself, Sean. And before it all ends, that's an ominous thing to say, Black Beauty. Black Beauty has arrived to save the day. So Black Beauty is, of course, a very classic tale. It has been adapted to the big screen several times. I don't even know how many. It is an old text by Sewell that has withstood many generations of readers and found a beloved spot among every generation, I think. And here we've got a brand new take by director Ashley Avis, who also adapted it for the big screen. Well, for Disney Plus. Depends on the size of your TV, I suppose.
It's hard to have a small screen at this point, I think, just because TVs are like $250.
Right. But you're like an old man who still thinks in terms of TVs.
Yeah.
Lots of kids these days just watch stuff on their phones or their tablets. So
that's so weird to me.
I know, but that's because you're old.
I guess if you hold it right up to your face, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Black Beauty, Sean.
Black Beauty.
Black Beauty.
There is a cell phone in Black Beauty.
Oh my gosh. Yes, because this is in fact a modern day reimagining of the story. It's not that reimagined. It actually...
Pretty much the story, isn't it?
It is the story. I think the shocking and sad thing is how little they had to do to put it in modern day.
Yeah.
Because for its time, and still today, but for its time it was eye-opening to people about the mistreatment of animals and horses in particular, of course. The book is actually told from the point of view of the horse of Black Beauty. And of course, anytime we anthropomorphize an animal, we are attributing human characteristics to it. But we don't have to even do that because, of course, we see anyone who spent any time with animals sees how much they think and feel and know and understand and learn and remember. And the more you realize that, the more disturbing it is, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you start
applying that to everything
to all the other animals, we're in trouble. Certainly, Black Beauty has a good memory. A sad memory when we meet her, because the 2020 adaptation has 2 female leads, so that is definitely a new thing. Black Beauty classically was written as a boy. Black
I did not
Beauty,
know that.
True story. It's a girl now, voiced by the wonderful Kate Winslet.
I didn't pick up on that either.
Well, Sean,
what
are we gonna do with you? Throw you right out. So when we meet Black Beauty as a young Mustang, she is running wild and free and just having, the time of her young Mustang life. And then strange animals start to encroach on the land. Those strange animals, I'm not even sure if Black Beauty was referring to humans or to the cars they are driving. At any rate, Black Beauty is taken. She is trapped. She is sold. And instead of having, the whole world as her home, suddenly she has a stall with some hay in it. And, barely enough room for a horse to turn around in these stalls. So it's a real come down in the world. So of course Black Beauty is quite depressed, even though she is living on basically a preservation.
It's a pretty good thing for a horse.
Yeah.
You could do worse, as we will see.
It's stables where the guy running it, he's a nice guy, he takes care of his horses. But he breaks them and then he sells them. It's not even his business, but it is a business. It is for money. They can't keep horses just because they like horses. They have to keep turning them over. Now, then a little girl named Jo, played by Mackenzie Foy, comes to live at the stables at the house because her parents have just died, and so the very nice horse trainer guy is her uncle. And I think she and Black Beauty bond immediately because they're both missing their parents. They've both been taken away from their parents and put into this strange place where they don't know anyone else, and it's kind of scary. But Jo is not your classic horse girl. She, in fact, I don't think has ever ridden a horse before she meets Black Beauty. And Black Beauty has never been ridden. She was a wild Mustang, remember that. This is part of her story and her myth is the big come down from going from a wild animal to living in captivity and then to being broken. Which as Jo points out, it's because it's Mackenzie Foy who plays her. As Jo points out, broken is such a terrible word to really use on anyone.
Yeah.
But why do we want to call it breaking the horse? And certainly Black Beauty's mother always told her that a Mustang spirit cannot be broken. And I think probably Black Beauty does prove that to be true because not until Jo comes along and says, no, we're not going to break horses, we're going to partner them. Which is a nicer way of looking at it. It still means I'm going to ride you and not the other way around. It is not an equal partnership.
No, the horse is doing most of the work.
Yes.
But in fairness, you can't carry a horse.
Well, maybe you can.
Well, I can't. I'm honest about that. My limitations.
Sean, do you believe that I cannot lift a horse?
No, I believe you can. I can't.
Yeah, well,
I know.
we're not all meat.
No.
So Jo does not have any lofty ambitions, and in fact is quite surprised when Beauty actually kneels down and allows her to be ridden, especially because Jo doesn't know how to ride, and yet they just fit together and everything works like magic because they're meant to be best friends. And they are until the barn burns down, the stables, excuse me, not the barn. And Black Beauty has to be leased out to a very wealthy family who
Terrible rich people.
Yes, who has an incredible stables and are trying to teach their children to be dressage competitors. So the young woman who is riding Black Beauty now is not a natural horsewoman, but she can make up with it with her heels, her spurs, her whip.
Yep, just to abuse the horse.
Yes. So it's very sad, and of course Jo is there as hired help and witnessing this, and Black Beauty does not understand, like, how do you go from being a wild stallion out on the land to being broken and now to being abused? But sadly, Black Beauty's life just kind of gets worse and worse, and she and Jo are separated, but Black Beauty never forgets her, and it really is like super emotional.
Yeah.
Hush now.
It's fine. It is emotional.
You know, and I didn't expect that because it is completely narrated and told from a horse's point of view. I didn't expect to feel so much, and to Ashley Avis's credit, this is not like an emotionally manipulative movie.
No, it's not. It's played pretty
It's
pretty
not
straight.
asking for anything. Of course, the horse doesn't know how to ask for pity. The horse, is just accepting life as it comes because what choice does she have? But yeah, she misses her friend and she doesn't understand why she's being mistreated, but she definitely knows pain. She knows pain when she feels it, and she feels it way too often in her later life. She sees old friends being
having worse lives, yeah.
Yeah, I did cry several times. It really got to me, especially in the end. But I have like, and I don't even know if this counts exactly as empathy, because I wasn't feeling like I'm the horse, but like I do just see every animal as potentially my Herbie, or like my little puppies that I love so much. And, they're part of my family. They're in bed watching this movie with me. And so it's hard to like understand how anybody is going to be mean to a sweet animal and these sweet, sweet horses who are just trying to do what you ask of them, despite the fact that it's not fair and life is hard and sometimes they're hungry and cold and sad and they just have to keep going every day. So I actually liked this movie.
I knew it.
Shut up. Don't tease me. I'm not a horse girl.
No, but you're an animal lover.
Yes, I guess I am. I guess that's a little bit undeniable. But I did kind of like this movie, and I was a bit surprised by that. How did you feel about it?
It's a good movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't expect to have any interest in this. And
telling it like it is.
Yeah. And I was won over. Mm-hmm. It is a good movie. It's nice to hear from the horse's side of things.
Yeah, and see, I didn't think that would work for me either.
No, it
or
does.
if it works, it's going to work like Babe and Pig in the City.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this really, you do, like, it's not a talking horse. It's like
the horse is the narrator. Yes,
we know her thoughts. And they're never out of control. They're exactly the kind of thoughts that if you are an animal lover, if you have an animal in your family, then you probably do 100% believe that your animals are capable of having every one of those thoughts. So in that way, it feels very real. I thought the script was well adapted into modern times. Although, like I said, it's also very sad how little had to be done to adapt it into modern times.
Yep.
Because like Black Beauty in the original was like a cab horse in London, and now it's a, what's that called? A carriage horse in Central Park. And Black Beauty, I know that's been a very controversial thing of late, but Black Beauty doesn't even mind that work, and it's certainly not her hardest work.
Yep.
But she's a pretty well-traveled horse, isn't she? She gets around. She's been
most
to
of the USA, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which again is so hard for me to, like, I could never give up my dogs, of course. My dogs have been, apart from where they were born, one home dogs their entire lives. And so it is sad to see Black Beauty constantly leaving not just her human friends, but her horse friends as well. When life is already so tough, they don't really
has no connections.
No, nothing familiar, and
Except Joe.
Well, yeah, but Joe disappears. Joe is not in the whole movie.
No, she's not.
She gets sold away from her precious Joe. Joe is just, a little girl when she gets sold away, so she has no power in this. And you can understand how sad that must have made her, especially as, a little orphan girl who sort of bonded with this horse because she saw herself in her. And then for her to be taken away, that must have been a whole other story that we don't really hear as much from because it's told from Black Beauty's point of view. So yes, this is a lovely little family film. Perhaps it won't appeal to everyone, but it's certainly not relegated to just the horse girls.
No, it's not. So the one thing is it's a little slow. So kids who love like dance numbers in animated movies maybe a little bored by it, but for older kids, I think this is one that everyone can watch for sure.
Oh yeah, this is. But yes, warning to animal lovers and
you'll probably cry.
Sensitive sensies like me, as my sister will call me. I'm a real sensi. Oh boy, bring your Kleenex because she's been through some stuff, guys.
Yes.
And she doesn't even always have shoes.
Nope.
Oh boy. It is hard to believe that. I mean, it's so easy to see the innocence of an animal and complete inability to leave or better the situation, and also how lax the care of them can be. It's very easy for them to slip through I mean, it's not even really cracked, so there's,
No.
there's not much of a system for animals.
No, there's not. It's not really monitored.
No, so we really haven't come all that far, and Black Beauty can definitely still exist in the 2020 universe.
Yes.
And now she does. And she's a lady, which is great. I always thought Black Beauty sounded like a girl's name, although if you've read the book, they do call him Blackie a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which is difficult.
That is.
But yeah, Black Beauty, so lovely. And I'm glad now she has a little girl writer. There was definitely, even though the original book is written by a woman, there was a lack of female characters. It was a lot of male writers and male groomers and male abusers, of course. And so now, equal opportunity, good and bad ladies riding the horse. And now the horse is a lady, which is so wonderful. Kate Winslet, Sean.
Yeah.
And they got her hair. Oh, that got me. Poor lady.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Disney Plus, I was really glad to see them get some new content, and I think it's always nice, especially around the holidays, to get some new family fare.
And non-Christmas fare,
That
if you
is
want to
true.
change it up.
If you want to change it up, yes. That's absolutely true. It is not a Christmas movie, and it does still have a lot of the spirit of the book. So if you have little fans, then I think this will serve them well and make it feel a little more part of their world. Because that's the one thing, you know, Black Beauty feels like it's going to be classic horse girl canon, and yet because it's so male heavy, it has not been as adopted as, say, National Velvet or some of those. So finally Black Beauty gets to come into the light. The lovely Mackenzie Foy, who plays Jo, you may remember her as young Murph in Interstellar. I will remember her as Clara in that Nutcracker and the Four Realms. That didn't do so well, but certainly she is quite lovely. So it was good to see her getting some good screen time. And yeah, I just thought this movie was kind of lovely. And I wanted to give her a big hug. Both of them, really.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take you both. I don't have a stable yet.
We've got some room back there.
Yeah, that's right.
Although, I think you have to choose between a horse and a pig. Can't have both.
Well, you are always raining on my parade.
Yeah.
Anyways, for now, I could just watch horse and pig movies on Disney Plus, and you can too. So let us know if you checked it out and what you thought. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.